For high performers, the problem isn't just earning money. You've probably got that figured out. The real challenge is mastering the system, making your money work for you, not the other way around. You've mastered your career, but have you mastered the machine that actually grows your wealth? Today, we're diving deep into the 7-step blueprint from Tony Robbins' massive book, Money, Master the Game, to give you that playbook. All right, so the first and most important thing you have to understand, according to Robbins, is that the financial world is a game. And if you don't know the rules, it is absolutely mathematically rigged against you. The house is designed to win, and it wins by taking advantage of what the average person simply doesn't see coming. This brings us to a really powerful question the book forces you to ask, and honestly, it gets right to the heart of the problem. Is the person handling your money a butcher or a dietitian? Knowing the difference here is probably the most important first step you can take to protect your future. So let's break this analogy down, because it's brilliant. A butcher gets paid to sell you meat. It doesn't matter if it's good for you, his job is to sell the product. A dietitian, on the other hand, is dedicated to your actual health and well-being. Now, in the financial world, most advisors are brokers. They're the butchers. They sell you the funds that pay them the biggest commission. A fiduciary, though, is the dietitian. They are legally, and that's the key word, legally bound to act in your best interest. It's a night and day difference, and you have to demand a fiduciary. Now, why is this so critical? Well, get this. A staggering 96% of actively managed mutual funds, the ones where some expert is picking stocks trying to beat the market, they fail to do it. Over the long haul, they just don't win. So you're paying these huge fees for performance that statistically almost never actually happens. And those fees? This is where it gets really painful. A small 3% annual fee might not sound like a big deal, but when you factor in the power of compounding working against you, that tiny fee can eat up more than half, sometimes as much as 70% of your entire nest egg over your lifetime. It is quite literally death by 1,000 cuts. So if the game is rigged and the traditional advice is broken, what's the move? Well, Robbins didn't just guess. He went out and interviewed the greatest financial minds on the planet, people like Ray Dalio, Paul Tudor Jones, to build a playbook based on how the absolute best in the world actually manage their money. And what he found is that the most powerful strategies are often the simplest. This quote right here is key. See, for most of us, the biggest obstacle isn't a lack of information, it's a failure to execute. And to fix that, you don't need some complex, confusing system. You need a simple, bulletproof plan you can actually stick to. And this is a perfect example of that principle. The all-seasons portfolio, developed by the legendary Ray Dalio, isn't about trying to hit home runs and beat the market. No, its entire purpose is to survive any market condition. We're talking inflation, deflation, booming growth, or a deep recession. It's designed so you can stay in the game, no matter what, and let that compounding work for you, not against you. So, what's actually in this thing? Well, the allocation is built to balance risk. You've got 40% in long-term bonds and 15% in intermediate bonds for that bedrock stability. Then 30% in stocks to give you that growth potential. And finally, you have a 15% split between gold and commodities, which acts as a fantastic hedge when things get uncertain or inflation kicks in. Every single piece is designed to do well when another piece might be struggling. And here's the proof in the pudding. Look at the 2008 financial crisis. The S&P 500 got cut in half. It plummeted over 50%, an absolute bloodbath. But a back-tested all-seasons portfolio, it was down less than 4%. Think about that. This isn't about getting rich quick. It's about making sure you never get poor. It's about building real, lasting resilience. Okay, so having a resilient portfolio is like having armor. It protects what you've got. But that's only half the equation. The other half is knowing exactly what you're fighting for. You can't hit a target you can't see. So now the focus shifts from the market to you. Robbins breaks this down into really clear, concrete levels. It's not just some vague idea of being rich. It starts at level 1, financial security. That's where your passive income covers your absolute basics, like your mortgage and food. Then you climb up to level 3, financial independence, where you literally never have to work again for your current lifestyle. And it goes all the way up to level 5, absolute financial freedom, where you can do anything you want, anytime you want, and money is just not a factor. Seriously, knowing your exact number for each of those levels is the most empowering thing you can do. Your brain is a problem-solving machine, but it can't execute on a fuzzy goal like get wealthy. Give it a specific target, a clear number to hit, and it will start figuring out the path to get there. So how do you guarantee you'll actually hit that number? It's simple.
You take yourself, your emotions, your discipline, your forgetfulness out of the equation. You make it automatic. You pay yourself first, and you do it by setting up an automatic transfer from every single paycheck directly into your investment account. This isn't just a tactic, it's a system, and it follows that timeless rule. Don't invest what's left after spending, spend what's left after investing.
Now look, no single strategy works perfectly for every single person. So to give you the full picture, we have to talk about some of the potential downsides of the playbook laid out in this book. First off, let's be real. This book is a monster. At over 600 pages, it is incredibly dense. Second, that all-seasons portfolio, while incredibly safe, might be a little too conservative for a younger investor who has decades to ride out the market swings and can afford more risk for a higher return. And finally, the book talks a lot about annuities for retirement income. Those can be tricky. An annuity is just a contract with an insurance company, and its guarantee is only as strong as the company backing it. But at the end of the day, the core message of this book is bigger than any single tactic. It's about a fundamental shift in your identity. It's about deciding once and for all that you are no longer going to be just a consumer in the economy. You are going to become an owner.
Reaching financial freedom is never an accident. It's a climb. It takes a plan, it takes discipline, and it takes having the right strategy. One that keeps you on that mountain even when the big storms roll in.
And ultimately, the book frames wealth not as the end goal, but as the tool for a much bigger purpose. The point isn't just to have money, it's to have the freedom and the capacity to live and to give on your own terms. And that all starts with mastering the game. If you're ready to start your own climb, you can find the link to the book and some other key resources I've put together for you in the description below. And if you want to master more playbooks from the world's top performers, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll be breaking down a lot more of them right here. See you in the next one.